When I was young and I had a PC for the first time, I would play games, and in many situations, I wasn't necessarily happy about the outcome. And there was this urge I would feel that I would always want to get back to it, to keep playing the game or the games that I was doing, and to try it whatever else I wanted. From time to time, I remember my father would tell me that he wouldn't blame the computer or he wouldn't say anything bad about the computer, but he would tell me that the computer is slowly turning me into its slave. And being a very introspective being someone who would think quite well about the words and whatever I've been spoken about and to, well, I did take a thinking about that, but I was way too young to comprehend certain things. Now, if I think a bit more, I realize more and more the fact that my father was kind of wrong in there. See, he would tell me that the computer would turn me into its slave, but he wasn't entirely true. See, the computer was just a tool. And when you feel abandoned, when you feel like, in my case, you have been burst in a place in a time when it's like you took upon you the weight of an entire generation, a set of generations of, karmic debts and misaccomplishments, disappointments of people and the such. Abandonment can hit you real hard. Now, I'm not saying as if I'd be some kind of god walking amongst mere mortals. I'm sure someone most likely feels at least similar to me, going through almost, I would say, even 15 years of depression, crippling depression, feeling abandoned, feeling like no one really cares about you, feeling like whatever you do nobody notices you, and it's like everything goes on so well and for others. But at the same time, when you feel so down, you kind of forget about the little gifts that you have in life. Everything seems to be only focused on the drama that seems that nobody's giving you attention. Because believe me, lack of attention hits harder than a truck, okay? You can survive a car crash if you're lucky, but the traumas from abandonment and the such can linger even beyond this physical life that you're experiencing right now. So I remember that I would do a lot of things. Just like other people, I would end up doing things just to distract myself from that, right? A lot of people end up doing self destructive behaviors, or they're just obsessing more or less on something. An obsession means just a practiced and an over practiced activity that you have in order to run away from something. And the question is, what are you actually running from? Right? Many people ask themselves in the end, but most likely don't seem to find an answer. See, a lot of people start smoking. See, smoking as a habit is very pleasurable to a lot of people, especially if they suffer from abandonment issues, because it reminds you of one thing in your childhood when you felt safe. Sucking from that cigar to the brain is almost the same sensation as being, breastfed by your mother, right? It exists within you. It functions in a way. It gives you the same sensation of peace and protection to the brain, at least. And the brain can be pretty convincing if you think about it, because the more ignorant people are, the more attention necessity hits people, the more compulsive they become, and some people even become complacent when they embrace this aspect of life as if it is the only thing that they can ever enjoy, and life apparently doesn't have anything else but that for them. See, people will become complacent in time. The more complacent they become, they will even become obsessive. Have you met those kinds of people? You try to help them out of their depression, it's like no. You try to help them a bit harder and they become aggressive. They even turn against you because that is their comfort zone. How dare you try to pull them out? I assure you, abandonment issues hit extremely hard. And the reason why they do is because they hit at the core of your existence, right? It's not just some, little traumas that, someone said something bad about you or you were pushed down the stairs. See, you may be pushed 10 times in a row down the stairs. You may break a few bones, go to the hospital and leave. You will simply regenerate and be somewhat well with that. But being raised not necessarily in a family that doesn't give you much attention, but being raised in a society that doesn't care much about you hits even harder. Because yes, your parents, you're going to spend a long time with them, right, in your early childhood when you're at your weakest. If your family doesn't give you attention right then, well, it's not going to be worth much if they give you attention afterwards. Say you're now in your 30s, you have a little business, you are doing things, or whatever it is, you're enjoying a bit of success. People who didn't care about you, probably even your family, they're just coming back and swarming you. It's like now they are proud of you, but they were never proud of you when you were young, when you were doing all the shit that they were asking you to do. Because I see a big trend. People feel as if their children are here on this world to avenge everything that they denied themselves to. You see children being sent to all sorts of school competitions, all sorts of sports and the such, all sorts of activities that the child might not even want. But the parent feels as if they are avenged by their child, right? It's like you as a child, your time, your childhood has to be sacrificed for your parents' sake. And then when you're like, you've had enough of your family, or you're trying to do something, anything you're doing different than them, it's like suddenly you're so egotistical. But one has to understand in life you have to be egotistical. Life is all about a certain balance in between egoism and altruism. Because the moment you are altruistic in a narcissistic environment, you're done. You're finished. The moment you can give something to black holes, to vampires, to people who can only take and not give, you're dead. Literally. They're gonna enter your life, they're gonna ruin it, they're gonna suck you dry of your energy, of your money, of all your resources. They're not even gonna feel any remorse, and they're gonna even enjoy doing that. I assure you, some of them will even look you in the eyes. It's like they're literally sucking your life through your eyes, okay? Some of these people can be really nasty as that. Why? Because they don't have anything, and well, you're just a juicy target to them. These are harsh lessons that people, well, one way or another have to learn in life. So instead of focusing too much on the hurts, one should realize um, never leave your hurts to define who you are, many people say. But when the hurts can become too much, well, unfortunately, a lot of people slip into that side where they cannot easily come back. See, everything in life is just a tool. If you think from a narcissist standpoint, well, they are very right, because, well, everything is a tool. You need your friends to feel good, to feel socially validated, to feel well, to laugh around, to socialize. Every tool, physical tool that you have in your life, well, it's nothing else but a tool that makes your life better. So in the end, narcissists are very good teachers, but in a, let's say, more morbid and dark way. But if we are to think about life, life will not do anything against you. Life will do certain things because all the events in this cosmos happen. Well, you might end up uh, in a family that you most likely not like, right? Or, this and that. A lot of things can happen. But one has to understand a certain thing. Life is all about a certain balance. Especially early on in life, you have to be egotistical because you have to earn a few skills so that you can earn some money, because the more money you have, you're going to simply help your family, you're going to simply help others if you have a bit more money. It's not about getting the money to praise yourself or to boast in front of others, to gloat. It's all about, if you want to help others and you don't have the money to help yourself, where you're not going to be able to help others much. A lot of people will probably tell you, well, money doesn't buy happiness. Well, if money can't buy happiness, I assure you poverty won't buy happiness either. A lot of people can deal well in life with just having little. Yes, it takes a certain amount of balance, a certain amount of, let's say, karmic wisdom and the such, because I assure you most of the people in this world can't have such a mentality. Okay? Not in this highly survival based existence that we all have. Yes, some people can be good with the little that they have, because in the little wisdom, at least the little wisdom that they have, they know one thing. They would simply enjoy life with whatever they have, and if something bad happens and they leave this physical life, They know that all their business with this world is over and they're not gonna take anything physical with them. But it's not necessarily about thinking like this. You have to understand in life, you will always be appreciated by what you can give to the community. Now, it also depends if the community is worthy of actually being given something to, because it's not necessarily worth fighting for people who will simply betray you at the first occasion. But, well, some people still pursue this path because more or less they have a certain path that, let's say, in one way or another, it was chosen, let's say, not by God, but by them. God doesn't choose any destiny for you. This is something people have to understand. God does not choose anything for you. You choose that by your actions, by your deeds, and most likely people who feel that they have a certain calling in life. It is a calling that they follow from beyond the grave. They have been persecuted for doing that so many lifetimes before that they still feel that the game must go on. Yes, to some it's an obsession, to some it's just something normal that they do. People have to understand everything in this life is just a resource that you make use of. You're not going to take any of the money that you have you with you in the grave. Well, maybe physically you can have them, but as a ghost you're not going to make use of those. Yes? So enjoy life. Enjoy everything that you can enjoy. Enjoy all the little pleasures that this life can give you. When karma comes back, just open it with just receive it with open arms. Whether it is good or bad, you can only perceive it so because you enjoy that event that happened, or you simply don't. So, if one has to think a bit about this, life is all about doing and being also. You have to do things and you have to be. In case of spirituality, always focus on spirituality as if you are immortal. Because everything spiritual that you do will also more or less carry on. Everything physical that you do, well, always treat it as if you are a mortal. Because, well, whatever talents, whatever skills you learn, they're gonna help you in this life. They will help you in other lives if you become aware of certain things and you tap into certain levels of understanding of, let's say, your past in order to learn some of those skills that you had in previous lifetimes. But one needs a huge amount of stability for that. So, life is all about learning and improving. It's not about feeling guilty or ashamed of everything that you have. God doesn't want you to feel ashamed of what you are, of your looks. Only narcissists do. Why? Because, well, they're afraid of you more or less. They're suspicious of you. They don't like you. They don't like themselves, so obviously they won't care for you. You live in a world where everything seems against you. And guess what? If you're thinking like that, you're not crazy, you're just waking up. Yes? So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. It was, I know, a bit all around, but I just felt some people might need it. This being said, take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.